So in my last video, I said I was giving tips on starting YouTube, and one of the tips I gave is don't put pressure on yourself. Don't put really strict deadlines or expectations or goals for yourself if you're just starting out. And one of mine that I said in that video is I'm trying to post once a week or at least 3 to 4 times a month. And I posted that video 3 weeks ago, and now I'm filming this video and I haven't posted in pretty much 3 weeks. So I apologize for that, but just for clarification, and pretty much an excuse, I went to New York for about a week and didn't record anything, only took photos. If you want to see those photos, make sure you check out my Instagram, jfern.visions. It's going to be linked in the description. I'm posting a lot of that New York content now. And then I came back from New York, and the day I came back, I ended up going to a concert for a band called Beartooth, which I absolutely love. And then I think at that show I ended up getting sick. Thankfully, it wasn't the COVID. I'm vaccinated and I already had it, so I'm pretty good on that. It was pretty much just like a flu. It wasn't the flu, but it was similar to the flu, and I was sick for like a week. And then work got a little bit crazy and just trying to get back into the rhythm of things, so I just didn't really feel like recording any videos, but here I am. I'm going to record a short video today, kind of talking about something that's been on my mind lately in regards to Canon and just cameras in general and lenses. And so just context for why I'm making this video: I was shooting an event last Thursday, and at the event, somebody working the event came up to me and started asking my opinion, as people always do, on cameras and when I'm shooting, and just asking general broad questions. And this person is somebody who shoots, I think, he didn't mention what camera it was. I'm assuming it's going to be something like a Rebel or one of the lower end Nikons. And he has the kit lens for it, so I'm assuming it's not that crazy telephoto lens. But he goes for walks every once in a while and goes to the Everglades and state parks in Florida, and he enjoys taking photos of wildlife. And so he's looking to upgrade into a more professional mirrorless DSLR, and he was asking my advice, and he was asking me, the question he asked me was, if you were me, what camera would you get? He's not trying to break the bank. Really, the only thing he wants is a good quality camera that shoots both photo and video, and get a lens that's pretty cheap, because he's not a professional, but be able to get a lens that is a zoom telephoto lens with a pretty long range. And he asked me, should he get this Canon R6? And I told him, no, he shouldn't. He should go with the Sony a7 III or any of the other Sonys, but I told him ideally probably that Sony a7 III, since it's a really good hybrid camera. And the main factor is that Sony has third-party lenses like Sigma, making lenses that are significantly cheaper than the lenses you can get now with Canon and the Canon R6. So with the context out of the way, I just want to make a video giving my thoughts on Sigma and other third-party lens companies. Are they good? Should Canon really be pushing for these companies to be making lenses for them? And why haven't these companies like Sigma made lenses for the R6? So first, if you haven't used a third-party lens like Sigma on a Sony camera, they're really, really good for the price. They're usually significantly cheaper than the Sony native lens, and they work just as well. The build quality is not as good, and there's some problems here and there with autofocus or whatever, but for the most part, the quality on those lenses are fantastic. But Sigma has not made lenses yet for the Canon RF ecosystem, and I think one of the big reasons why is Canon didn't open up the RF mount right away for third-party makers. They wanted to kind of keep it to themselves so people can be buying their RF lenses, which for the record are fantastic, and in my opinion some of the best lenses now on the market, specifically when you're pairing it with a RF or with a R6 or R5, where you have fantastic autofocus, great stabilization. It kind of just works flawlessly. It's probably the best lens to camera system in this market. But I really do think Canon is missing out on not having Sigma. And I'm going to be talking about specifically Sigma, or saying Sigma's name a lot, because that's really what I've shot on the most for a third-party lens maker, but there's other companies out there. And I really do think Canon is missing out a lot on not having Sigma or other third-party lenses on the RF mount. But the question is, will they come, or when will they come? And I think, one, will third-party lenses eventually come to the RF ecosystem? Yes, we're already seeing a little bit of that now. But I guess the bigger question is, will Sigma start making lenses for the RF system? And I think, the answer to that from Google searches is yes, they will be making RF lenses eventually. The question is when. There was an article that was posted at some point, I'll put it up on the screen, that I remember reading earlier this year, saying that the Canon RF, the R6 and the R5, they're going to be getting Sigma lenses very soon. And then it kind of just started never happening. And then eventually the CEO of Sigma did come out and say that there's just such high demand right now in the current situation in the world, they're not able to meet that demand. And so the R&D department is kind of put on the back burner when it comes to developing the RF lenses. So that's good news and bad news. Bad news is it's probably not going to come out this year. Hopefully it can come out next year, and instead of late next year or early next year. And the good news is that eventually, yes, we will have Sigma lenses on the Canon R6, R5, R3, even the R. And that is going to be really, really good news, not only for Canon and for the Canon R6 and R5 users, but it's going to be great news for people entering the market who maybe are more attracted to the Canon, but they don't want to be spending, in the grand scheme of things, $1,000, $2,000 more on getting lenses than they would be with Sony, because Sony does have cheaper Sigma glass. And that's going to conclude the video. I just kind of want to make a video to get back into the swing of things, kind of give my opinion on the whole, third-party lens situation for Canon, because I really do think it is the biggest limiting factor, or the biggest thing that's kind of delaying Canon taking over more market share over Sony. And, I've been critical about several things with the Canon R6, custom mode dial button, video settings, and stuff like that. But overall, this camera is phenomenal. The R5 is phenomenal. The R3 is going to be incredible once it starts going into production and getting into the hands of more consumers. I think we're starting to see Canon and this camera system really start to push Sony into getting a little bit worried, because they've been in control of the market for so long. But again, I think one of the biggest turn-ons, especially from a more hobbyist perspective, people who aren't making money from their photography, they don't want to be spending thousands of dollars on lenses, and instead they want to be, a little bit more practical. And I think having Sigma or other third-party manufacturers make lenses for this camera is going to be massive for Canon. So I'm going to end the video here. I hope you found it interesting, useful, or just entertaining of some sort. I know it was short, but I'm curious to know what you think. Are you a Canon user? Do you want Sigma glass? Are you a Sony user? What do you think of Sigma glass? Let me know down below. I'm kind of curious on what people think about this. Because it's talked about a little bit, but I don't think it's talked about enough, because the more people can talk about it, hopefully the more Sigma and Canon can start seeing that there's some sort of demand for these lenses, and they can actually produce them and bring them to the market. So please follow me on Instagram, jfern.visions. Like the video, it does help a lot. Comment and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.